Hi there, and welcome to episode 23 of my Sea Ice Challenge. I'm Icon, and today we have the summertime ahead of us, which is pretty good, and I hope we're going to see some trader that's going to be helpful for us. Last episode, Bishop finally trained up his cooking to a level of 8. That means enough cooking for packaged survival meals, and sadly, at the same time, I'm not able to work around that because we certainly don't have enough food yet to sustain a packaged survival meal production. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to molly away the rotting carcasses of the other animals outside there, just to clean up this place a little bit. There we go. And re-equip our assault rifle again. There we go. Important things, you know, really important things. And the next few days will hopefully yield me a new trader, which will ultimately buy some of those things we are producing. And I don't know how many slave ships I've already encountered here. I should possibly set up a slave pen to capture all those raiders and sell them to these ships, because they are coming by way more often than anything else. I really started considering that. Jokes aside, we got ourselves some money, and let's see. They would buy some of my gear as well. I will sell away the flak jacket. It's only poor quality, and what's even worse about flak jackets, they have a pretty bad insulation. We might be needing some new personnel and some new armor for sure, but at the same time, I really don't feel like going down that way. Now, I'm quite tempted to buy the components, but I won't. I'm going to sell the nutrimines as well. No, we're not. I will make useful things out of these nutrimines one day, and they don't really use up much space. It's really hard to come by, and therefore I don't want to sell it. A shame though that the next trader had to be yet another slaver. We got so many things to work on, or we got so many things to sell, I wanted to say. But, well, I can't change it. I just can't change it right now. So it's no use to be angry about that. Although, I really gotta say, I feel a little bit doomed here when it comes down to the trader frequencies and the trader varieties. But also I'm spoiled by playing with mods that give me all manner of different trader types, and therefore I'm used to a high variety. In vanilla there's only like 5 or 6 different types of traders to begin with, so therefore it's not that unusual to see the same old things more often, but well, it certainly has some comical qualities at this point already, because my storage is brim-filled with stuff ready to sell, and we're just waiting for such a long time now for somebody to buy all that stuff. I passed out. I passed on so many occasions where I could have earned even more money. Like, for example, stripping down raiders to gain some better gear, stuff like that. But, I mean, we got, what? A handful of slots here. Imperial ship down. So, I definitely want to take that one. We're taking it for honor, because I want to make Julian now to a royal as well. I'm doing this mainly because now is summertime. That means none of these two boys will be freezing, and we can camp outside there and wait for the combat. And we get that shuttle to loot. That shuttle yields materials we really, really want to have. And therefore, we're just going to chill outside here and wait for the enemies to arrive. Let's see. Can already deconstruct that thing. So we gain plasteel, 50 units of plasteel, couple of components, good thing that we didn't buy them, and a few Nala Federation raiders are coming by. They're all coming by with low range weapons. Yay me. That's really good. It's basically the best that could happen, because they will be taken down by our assault rifles way earlier. And with some luck, they're not going to even touch our fellas. There we go. Let's take down that grub person. Stun him before he can really fire at us. Let's double stun. Keep the stuns going, because this way they can't even counterattack. And that's that. So the profit out of this operation, a pump shotgun, oh well, 2 pump shotguns, revolvers, lots of meals, and a couple of bodies. Perfect. Nice. I don't dare to do these events in the colder times of the year, because it's really dangerous to stand outside there for such a long time. But during these times of the year, it's just awesome. It's basically free loot for us. Now we just have to wait for the other shuttle, and that's that. Wonderful. Okay, nice. Consider that as a very lucky coincidence there. And Julian is now a freeholder, so it's going to take a few more days until we have the other title there, but that's okay. I'm quite happy about the plasteel profits we got there. It's really good. Alrighty. Dig in a couple of graves to bury those poor souls there. Just, you know, in advance, to have some people in storage. Nah, we're burying them for now. We're not butchering. I'm so rich on materials right now, and especially so low on storage, that I don't really feel like doing that. We are going to smelter away these firearms though, because I don't really need them. Alrighty, nice. You can always sell these weapons as well, but the game has a pretty nasty algorithm that makes looted weaponry from raiders worth a lot less, and therefore most of the time it's really not worth it. Most of the time it's just really not worth it. I'll rather take the extra steel out of that. Let's see. It's 11 units of steel, you know. Okay. And the tribe of Rezabil is raiding us another time. And they're rolling towards us with sappers. So, 6 of them. Dang. I really feel like we should be considering more turrets at this point. Sappers also come and attack you right away. They don't wait for a long time. Sappers are also problematic in the Eternal Ice, because, you know, we are really in need of our walls. But luckily, these guys are all melees, so let's see how this goes down. First person is actually drifting away from my gunfire. That's an odd behavior. Alright, first guy downed. So this fella has a bow. Let's stun him. Make sure he doesn't get to use that. I'm quite happy if we get to fight this in a way that our enemies are not even able to trigger my gun turrets. Please don't hit my peeps. We're going to fall back. I don't like the chance of getting nicked here. Alright, that guy's actually falling back too. As far as I can see, they're trying to avoid the range of my gun turrets, so let's start and... oh. No burden spells needed. Take that! And don't you dare to come back. I'll actually try to take down as many of them as possible, but I don't want to overdo it at the same time. Alrighty, there's another steel knife. Bow. Like I mentioned it before, I don't want to go for these items. My storage is already limited as it is, and okay. But the rest of the loot is quite nice, gotta say. We also acquired a lot of extra steel out of that. That's really good. But as things go right now, I'm really considering picking up a third colonist pretty soon, because our enemies are only getting more and more numerous, and that sure makes me a little bit nervous at this point, because I feel like it's not going easier at this from here on. Ideally, I would take a cannibal person with us here, so, but can't really decide on that. Now, dang, I really need a new trader. I really need a new trader here. It's so friggin' important for us. Because at this moment right now, my stockpiles are just too full. It's my big issue here. But at least we did make a nice plus on steel here. I'm already at 300 units. That's already enough to even consider building the... what was it called again? The... refinery. That was the word I was looking for. Really considering it right now. Because it doesn't seem like I'm going to be only lucky in the near future. And yeah, let's invest that. Or do we? No, I won't. Simple reason. I only want that biofuel refinery as soon as I have a nice little storage area to store that chem fuel in. Chem fuel is highly volatile, and it just needs one bad event, just one power out, just one short circuit, and everything here goes boom. Because that stuff is just like shells exploding when you're when it takes too much damage. And therefore, I don't want to dare to kill myself just like that. I've had these events way too often, and therefore, rather not. Rather not. I really want to have a trader soon. For real. Give me the traders, please. Right now I'm stockpiling up some rice again. We could go for our first batch of packaged survival meals, though. Or, wait a sec, I already configured them. But honestly, I want to change that one in a limited amount job. So, need material. Oh yeah, of course, the rice ain't enabled here. So, vegetarian. In this scenario, I allow using rice, but only so and so often. Here we go. And since these are rations we usually don't want to eat, I'll put them on the forbidden stack. Or wait a sec, I was already one step beyond, wasn't I? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we're slowly starting to transform our stockpiles into money. It's the best I can do for now. There we go. I'm only doing this very cautiously until I have enough resources that I can do it carefree. because, you know, that rice is also the stuff we're actually eating. But since I had a pretty generous gift from the last raiders that were attacking us, I don't think I need to be that careful here. Also, I think I should consider a different bill now. Let's do this. We can cook fine meals and simple meals in quadruples by now. There's really no problem with that. We only do that until we have 4, I mean. I like to have 2 rations per person. This is already quite much, but at the same time it gives me a nice feeling of safety. Okay, so we're now starting to transform slowly these materials into packaged survival meals, which are actually being bought even by slavers, if I'm not mistaken. I only do know that packaged survival meals are quite sought after from all manner of by all manner of different traders, so I consider them one of the best investments I can go for. Alright, there we go. Bulk cooking is kicking in now too. And let's see. There's lots and lots of bodies outside there again. Ugh. Well. Let's start with a storage building again. You know. It's just like I don't want to waste these. I really think they are extremely valuable. And the moment I get a psychopath or a cannibal into my colony, I can just go industrial with that if I want to. Because the thing is, the butchering mood debuff stacks up for everybody who's not a psycho or a cannibal, but the other folks only receive that "we slaughtered human-like" debuff once, and then it gets refreshed. It doesn't stack up several times, unlike the "I butchered human-like" debuff, which stacks. I don't know how long. I never tried to reach a limit, but as far as I've seen things, it seems to go indefinitely. So, foolproof way to make your people go bonkers. Anywho, summer is passing, and there wasn't any trade caravan so far whatsoever, but at least we had some nice events that brought us new materials. So, with the extreme increased amount of enemies attacking us, I decided to stock up on defenses here. A hearth tender, yeah, good stuff. Just what we needed, I guess. But at least with our new productions, I'm able to. A recruiter named Delicious. I'll just leave that uncommented, okay? With our new production protocol here, I am at least able to produce meals that will be tradable. And that's a big step forward in my opinion, because right now I feel like we got really big issues with establishing our trade options, or you know, this whole storage area is brim-filled with stuff we can't really sell to anybody, and that's really a big problem for us. So therefore I'll transform a part of my rice rations now into packaged survival meals, and let's see, the next slaver dropping by will be for sure more willing to buy our stuff than the last guy was. That's at least what I hope for. Okay, now wildlife, nothing's here. So I'll fast forward until the next event hits town. So a couple of days later, this piece of spaceship junk seemed to be the biggest event that happened. We had yet another transport pod crash. I didn't really want to even bother with this person here because a non-violent body purist who's even neurotic is not really helpful for us in any way. Whoever is crash landing here needs to pull their weight completely, and therefore, Julian with this 50% diminished manipulation value is already kind of a hard thing to endure, but at the same time, at least for him, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, if you get my idea. But for non-violence, there's simply no place here. In the meantime, I have managed to cook up a really large amount of packaged survival meals. We haven't seen a single trader so far during this summer, so it seems like we're growing more and more unlucky for this season, which is making me rather sad, but I can't change it. So on every rice harvest we plug in, I'm right now doing at least 3 cook-offs for survival meals, and well, my wealth is increasing, which is kind of like making me a little bit nervous because the next raids will be growing bigger and bigger. But beyond that, we are doing just fine. I think the only thing that's now lacking is another trader. But I was quite happy about the spaceship chunk, that's why I wanted to showcase it. Of course, I have also hauled in all the other chunks we have found so far. And I am actually at the point where I really ignore some of the bodies which are lying outside, because there's simply... I got so many corpses already. I mean, let's count that. We've got 39 graves, and only one of them is not loaded. And we are seeing our first mechanoid visit. Okay, let's see. What's going to hatch? Is it going to be Scythers, or... It's a pikeman and a lancer. That's really annoying. So, this is going to be our so far most dangerous fight. And the most annoying thing about a pikeman is that he's outranging your turrets by a lot. Not the lancer though. So what I'm going to do is I want to let the lancer get close enough for the turrets to be aiming at them. And then I want to engage on the lancer with my own peeps. There we go. Because it's really important for me that we're not going to get too close to the lancer before he has engaged on another target. I have to accept that the pikeman will be a threat for us until we get closer to it. But at least the lancer is something we are hopefully taking down before it takes anybody of us down. I'm well aware of the fact that I got a charge rifle, which is a better weapon against these enemies. But at the same time, I don't want to use a weapon with such a low range if I can't avoid it. So, let's stun that fella. Woo! Adrenaline spiking here. Because that's the first time things get really deadly, but we managed to do really well with that. Okay, so this is also a pretty good excuse for us to get up our machining bench. Or, what was it called again? Machining table. Because we are now gaining more steel than ever out of these. And also you can recycle mechanoids into even more steel, so it would be a shame not to do that, you know. There we go. That was spooky. But luckily we didn't even lose a single turret, so I'm very, very happy about that outcome. So it was a net minus on the steel, of course, but after we have melted down the steel slag chunks, we will be at 177 steel. So I didn't really pay that much. Right, there goes an eclipse. But the first mechanoids are now a sign that we should be probably considering buying some new reinforcements at the local slave market. Because I got a good gun. I got a good gun left over, so I probably should start and use it. But so far we're still surviving, and that's a good sign. Actually, that fight went really well. The thing about Lancers and Pikemen is Pikemen outrange your turrets, but their guns don't deal that much damage. A Lancer has a lower range than your turrets, but can easily sever limbs with one shot, or even one-shot colonists due to that, because basically one hit in the brain or in the heart by those Lancers, and the colonist we're talking about is a goner. And that's what's really frustrating about these enemies. Therefore, that's why I lured the Lancer into the turrets first, to minimize the chance of the Lancer firing at our people. Just so it makes more sense. But with the machining table online, we also got new options. What I want to do... there are a few things I want to do. First off, we can now create a prosthetic arm. But what's even more important, we can go for EMP grenades. I'm not sure which one I'll go for first for. The thing is, I really want to sell off something of my stuff here and buy some new steel before I go for these new investments, because, you know, the amount of steel I got right now is rather low. I got a couple of components, but at the same time, these components have to last for a while, because we have to craft them ourselves. And all these things we got on our table here cost us components. So it's not that easy to choose, honestly. But I'm quite happy to see how well that fight with the mechanoids went. Maybe we were just lucky. I guess we were really lucky to not even get a single graze here, or not one of the turrets exploded. By the way, turret explosions, we need to spread them out more wide. That was extremely foolish from my side. If that turret would have exploded, we would have lost more than one turret out of that. So I shouldn't do that another time. Alright, so we're going to... a combat supplier! I don't know if that's really good, but burning Interstellar sounds pretty dandy. Let's see what they'll buy here. So definitely buying a few smoke leaf reefers and all of the survival meals. Perfect. So at the same time, I can buy EMP grenades, and I will buy EMP grenades. I already explained it thoroughly. If you and this is a nice way of just acquiring a new these new grenades without investing materials. I like that. So a shield belt or another assault rifle. I honestly will go for another assault rifle, because the next colonist crash landing or otherwise trying to join my colony will be hailed with happiness, and will be, well, no, will be... I will just take him. Words. Sometimes your brain goes, you know. So, Solar Flare killing off the rice. That's, by the way, a reason why I keep these high stockpiles after all. Okay, but that was a pretty beneficial situation, and it shows why the packaged survival meals were that much of a good investment. If I would have had a biofuel refinery, it would have worked the same way. Then we would have had the human meat transformed into chem fuel altogether. But I feel like this way is, in my opinion, a little bit more elegant. So let's resow that. Only a minor setback. And research-wise, we're actually getting closer to all the spaceship parts now. The only real bummer will be how to acquire the AI ship core, but, well, we'll think of something. But with that combat supplier chip gone now, that means we're now going to have to wait for a pretty long time once again until we'll be seeing the next trader. So I guess we will be going through a lot of combats before that happens, but that's okay. Slowly but steadily, those fights are growing more and more scary to me, honestly. But at least we got a way of earning ourselves some extra money now, which is kind of a relief there. Do you see that? Bunny! There we go. This feels this is sea ice vibes, friends. This is definitely sea ice vibes. There's an animal outside. Kill it. You're not gonna say no to the bunny, man. Alrighty, friends, so that's today's episode. I think we are on a fine way towards escaping this place. The only real issue there is still my lacking luck with traders, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Especially the packaged survival meals are a wonderful way of utilizing all the traders that are stopping by. And of course, we will have to... here's the Persona Core offer. So, yeah, they can tell me where it is. But we have to adventure towards there. Alrighty, but I wanted to outro here. So, thanks for watching so much, and drop me a comment down below if you have anything on your mind. You know that I'm more than happy to hear from you. Also, your likes help this series a lot to grow more visible. Thank you so much for supporting. And of course, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and don't miss any future episodes. I do daily episodes, so therefore, there's a lot to watch if you want to. And most importantly, have a good time, stay safe, and see you soon. Bye-bye.